the Mueller Report has been released. We saw today, Gallup poll, 76% of Americans want Mueller's exact word-for-word report to be released. I think that that's probably going to happen. And a lot of conclusions that I think there was a lot of disappointment over. A lot of people thought something else was going to come out of this. First, the president and again, Joe Brookman, I really wish you were here tonight because you have the opportunity for the victory lap. Wah, wah.
Everything can change till next
Not
year.
yet. Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
I understand. Well, as always, as you know, our president always responds exactly appropriately to every situation. Look at how the president responded to the news on Mueller. Watch this.
After so many people have been so badly hurt, after not looking at the other side, it was just announced there was no collusion with Russia, the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. There was no collusion with Russia. There was no obstruction and none whatsoever. And it was a complete and total exoneration. This was an illegal takedown that failed. So it's complete exoneration, no collusion, no obstruction. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, no collusion, no obstruction. It's absolute. It's ironclad, and I'm sure there's much more to come. We're learning the news. What do y'all think?
Okay, first of all, no collusion. So says the interpretation by the Trump guy, the Trumpster who was nominated for Attorney General. Bill Barr is a Trumpster fire. Okay, so I'm not going to take his interpretation of the report. I want to see the report itself.
Yeah.
That's first.
I agree.
Secondly, it was clear that this was not an exoneration. I find it funny that in the video about Jussie Smollett, the guy they were talking to was saying, oh, well, he's out here strutting around like he's innocent. Well, that's exactly what Trump is doing here. This did not say that he was innocent. It did not exonerate him of anything, but he's going to walk around and strut his peacock feathers like, he won something. He may have won the battle, but he has not won the war. And just because he wasn't specifically called out in this report doesn't mean he's not still a criminal, doesn't mean he's not still a racist, and doesn't mean he's not still a fucking pig. So I don't give a damn.
I just think it's funny that what's funny is like even if this cloud lifted, there's all of his organizations are under investigation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like it's just like, okay, so you got this one, which we haven't even cleared, but nearly every organization that Trump has remains under investigation by state and federal authorities.
Right. And
so
what about all the other
over.
indictments that have come out from this investigation? Like,
I hear you loud and clear. Allow me, because Joe is not here, but beyond that, allow me to make an observation on the other side. Trump is largely exonerated from this report. Everyone was sitting there going, Mueller's going to find it, he's going to find it, he's going to find it. And largely, there could be other things, he's not going to find it. Southern District of New York may, other investigations may, but the main focus of what Mueller has done for almost 2 years, he's not going to find it. Are you worried that this clearance, which is why the president was so confident on that tarmac, is that this is the path of his reelection in 2020?
yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that scare you?
Yes.
Oh God.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, I don't trust the whole process right now. I really
Listen,
don't.
these guys are the experts on spinning anything.
Thank you.
Any piece of information. They have spun and spun and spun and spun a web that we're all entangled in, and no one knows their ass from their elbows. Okay. We're in a place right now that it's a space of speculation, guys, okay? No one has seen the report. And until I see the report, I'm not going to speculate on exactly what's in that report. 2 years of investigation by a lead FBI agent. Come on, guys, okay? There's clearly more to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the system is it's not designed to punish people like Trump. It's just not. This whole country has been built on making sure that people who do the type of shit that Trump is getting away with, get away with it. Plain and simple. I don't know why we're surprised, and
Correct.
I won't be surprised if he, like I said, he'll continue to strut his peacock feathers and act like this exonerates him.
I'm
and
sorry.
I won't be surprised when he gets reelected because of it.
I cannot let any of you off the hook. If Joe Brookman was sitting in this seat, he would go, "I told you, I told you, I told you." Now I hear what you're saying in terms of the report, but he said over and over and over again, there was no collusion. They're going to find no connection to Russia, and that's exactly what Mueller said.
Well, the truth of the matter is they have found a connection to Russia. Every single major, top exec in his organization throughout his campaign, in his Trump organization, has been on a fish hook to Russia.
Exactly.
If it smells, if it what how does that saying go?
Fishy.
If it is probably there's
fish.
probably some fish. You know what I mean? But this is. We're in a place. Come on, give me a break. You are who you hang out with. How is it that everyone around you, everyone who is running your campaign, and you have nothing to do with it? You're the guy who's there boasting about how you're the man in control of everything. You're going to tell me you didn't know?
Allow me to answer your question. The answer that I think Joe would profit up at this moment, and Mueller profits up, is perhaps he was a bumbling idiot. But that does not mean that he intentionally planned any kind of connection to Russia. That's what Mueller really implied. He's a bumbling idiot, but he's not a criminal.
Well, he is a criminal. We already know that.
He is
because
a criminal,
did
but,
on many different, tax fraud, etc.
Not paying employees.
Just do your footwork and your legwork on Donald Trump, and you'll find who he is as a human being. How he got into the White House, I don't know. But we got to really make sure that he doesn't get back there.
Anybody else want to come in?
We just need to wait until we see what Mueller actually
Yeah,
wrote.
and then there's
That's
that.
it.
One last question.
Nothing else.
One last question. Right to the point. Was the announcement that Mueller's report had, as it affects the gay community, was it a dagger to your heart this week? Yes or no?
No.
It was not?
No, 'cause
I
I'm
do
not
have to say
surprised.
for a minute, I felt like the next day after he got elected president, because it was like too big of a shock too soon before I started reading more into it. So I did feel a little bit of like that low. And then I was like, something's fishy.
I think Democrats have
I
put way
was
too
like,
much weight
it's
into
too
this
soon.
and thinking that this was going to be the thing that impeached Trump or that made it, that brought it all to the forefront. We put way too much weight in just this one report.
Okay.
I agree
There's
with
so
you.
much
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got that extra time a little free. You didn't buy me a drink, and I'm really pissed off
Next
about
time.
it now.